Man, I don't know about you guys, but if every week was like this, I'd have to get out of the game. Welcome back, everybody, to the weekly comic book review for the week of February 22, 2023. We have, like I said in the intro, a ton of books to go over this week, so let's not waste any time. But first, I gotta wet my whistle! Whew, man, and I think I've highlighted this before, maybe. They do a lot of these drinks, these Monaco craft cocktails. This is 9% alcohol by volume. This is a classic Mai Tai. Man, this is one of my favorites. I think I might have had this on the show before, but this thing is so damn tasty. Man, that is good. That is refreshing. Do yourself a favor. Try these Monacos. Classic Mai Tai. Man, that is awesome. All right, guys, let's get started with the pick of the week. This week's pick of the week is Junkyard Joe, number 5, written by Geoff Johns, artwork done by Gary Frank. And let me tell you about the artwork done by Gary Frank. This is a beautiful book. The care, the attention to detail that this man took to draw this book, it's rich, it's deep. And this is the best quality book of the week, guys. It's a cardstock cover. The interior pages are thick. Quality book of the week, pick of the week, $3.99 cardstock cover. Do yourself a favor. If you're not reading Junkyard Joe, this is issue 5. There's only going to be issue number 6, so next month is the last book. Find these. If you can't find them, get it when the trade comes out, because the story has been excellent as well. In this issue, picks right up where the last one ended. And we got the kids are being kidnapped. Junkyard Joe and Muddy Davis come home to find them. Joe freaks out, man. He beats the hell out of these guys. He takes off with the kids in the woods as he's trying to get them to safety. Runs across some hunters. He beats the hell out of them too. Joe is beating the hell out of everybody that might threaten these children. And at the end of this book, there's a scene like with the Pentagon. And the guy asked the question, like, why did you guys ever shut down this program? With the Junkyard Joe program, and the guy basically says, because the damn robot kills everybody it meets. So now we got another mystery. Why is Joe so protective of these children he just met? We don't know. He's supposed to be an emotionless robot. Man, great quality book, great storytelling. This is by far one of the best comic books out today, guys. If you're not on Junkyard Joe, shame on you, and get it. Get it now. All right, guys, up next is Something is Killing the Children, number 29, written by James Tynion, artwork done by Werther Dell'Edera, and the artwork in this book sucks. I may be in the minority, but I hate the artwork in here. This book is the exact opposite of what Junkyard Joe wants. This artwork to me seems sloppy, choppy. It doesn't seem like any time or care was taken with it. And I may be in the minority. You guys might love it, but I do not like the artwork in this book. But the story is what sells this book. And I don't know how James Tynion does so much with so little. There's basically 3 scenes in this book. It barely moves the story along just a little bit. But it was great. There was a lot packed into these 3 scenes. I mean, the first scene opens up right where we left off. Erica's just basically walking out of the police station. Scene number 2, we get the dragon in a long conversation with Cecilia while this ugly bastard, he took his mask off. I don't know if this is the first time we've seen him without the mask, but this gnarly tooth looking bastard sitting here eating gummy worms. They're just having a long conversation about the bad lady cutter. Should they use her? Should they not use her? He says he's trying to groom Cecilia to be the next dragon or the leader of the House of Slaughter. So that was good. And then the last scene is basically her taking off, saying, I'm going to go find Cutter and Erica, and I'm going to handle this stuff myself. So great issue. I love the storytelling, but man, 3 little scenes. I don't know how James Tynion keeps me entertained, but he does it every time this book comes out. I love Something's Killing the Children. All right, guys, up next, book number 3 is The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 20, Legacy 914, written by Kelly, artwork done by Dodson. And man, Dodson really sucks at art. I'm not kidding you. There's a couple panels in here where Spider-Man is just a circle, 2 little eyes, and a stick body. It's atrocious. I'm glad this was just a little 2-issue side story. And basically what this boils down to, the main meat and potatoes of this book was the last couple pages. What we needed to hear from Peter Parker, confessing how he's always loved MJ, how she's like his best friend, but I think he's ready to move on. And I was like, oh no, man, they're going to break up Felicia and Peter. Don't do it. This is what I'm here for. I want them to have a nice, long relationship in the storyline going forward. I'm really tired of Mary Jane. I want him and Black Cat to get together. And oh man, does Black Cat surprise me. She's like, thank you so much for having that talk with yourself. You needed to say that out loud. You needed to hear those things. And now come give me a big smooch and we can move on. Man, kudos to Black Cat for being so mature. She's a beautiful, strong woman. This is who I want Peter Parker to be with. Hopefully we get that going forward. And I can't wait for the return of Zeb Wells. Not so much JR, but after seeing this guy's artwork, it makes him kind of look like Picasso. All right, guys, and piggybacking off Amazing Spider-Man number 20, this is Amazing Spider-Man number 129. It's the first appearance of the Punisher, and this is a facsimile that came out this week. And Lord knows, I will not never be able to afford an original copy of this book, but I'm going to have to save a lot of pennies up to be able to afford this book. And when I do get it, it's never going to be in this kind of shape. So anytime some of these key issues come out in a facsimile, I'm glad to have it. If you're a Spider-Man collector and you don't have this yet, run out to your store and get it now before they sell out. When they do these facsimiles, they do kind of sell out pretty quickly. And then these guys, they scalp them on eBay for like $10. So go get it now, $3.99. It's a key issue. It is a facsimile, but it's going to be a great placeholder until you can get that beauty for yourself. All right, guys, up next, we have Blue Book, number 1, written by James Tynion. Another James Tynion book this week. Artwork done by Oming. Don't know who that is, but the artwork was good. Let me read you this intro to this book. It was Tuesday, September 19th, 1961, when Betty and Barney Hill began the long drive home to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, from their modest holiday in Montreal. The couple had heard that a hurricane was making its way up the coast, and having already exceeded their budget for the vacation, they determined it was in their best interest to make the drive home overnight. And this is when the shenanigans happen. This is an alien abduction book. This is based in true life. This is a true story, if you believe in that sort of thing. There was even a documentary done. I looked it up on Discovery Plus has it, so you might want to go check that out if you're into that sort of thing. What I gather from this series of books from James Tynion, I think there's going to be 5 issues in this series, and they're all going to be stories about odd, macabre stories. I believe these are all kind of one-shot books that are going to come out. Some, it says, are going to be based in true stories. Some are just going to be made-up, weirdo-type stories. I kind of am interested in that stuff. I like it. So if that's the sort of thing you're into, you might want to pick this up. Just came out. This is issue number 1. Get on it. All right, guys, this is a great time in the video to remind you about our 50 subscriber giveaway. That's right, I'm giving away this CGC graded 9.4 off-white to white pages, this copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 310, artwork done by Todd McFarlane. All you have to do to try to win this baby is subscribe to the channel, be a subscriber, live in the continental United States, I'm not shipping this to Canada or overseas, and listen during the weekly comic book review. I give you a code word or code phrase, put it in the comment section below. When we hit 50 subs, I'm going to do a drawing. So the more times you watch, the more entries you do every week, you have a better chance at winning. And this week's code word is UFO. UFO is this week's code word. All right, guys, up next, we have Nightwing, number 101, written by Tom Taylor, artwork done by Moore. The artwork is always good on this book, always been good. Tom Taylor, this is being considered one of these Nightwing classic runs that you can't miss. And if you want to jump in on the story, number 100, if you get the 100 issue, kind of starts the new arc. And in this story arc where we're at right now, Dick Grayson is taking over kind of the Justice League, morphing it with the Titans. He's building a new Titans Tower in Bloodhaven. So this is a continuation of that. The last kind of Titan school they had got blown up, and come to find out there's a body buried under the rubble. So they go find this body, and we've got some mystery going on. I don't know who this Lord Norrid is. I don't know if he's an old villain of Nightwings. I'm going to have to do some research on that. If you guys know, let me know down in the comments. And he goes with this grinning man who's like a changer face. He's kind of like Clayface, but he tricks Nightwing at the end, bops him on the head, and of course he's down. He transforms into Nightwing, and now he's like leading the team, and they're off to trying to solve this mystery. So it's a good story. Like I said, classic run by Tom Taylor. If you're into Nightwing or you want to get into Nightwing, get in now. All right, guys, up next, came out this week, Killadelphia, number 28, written by Rodney Barnes, artwork done by Sean Alexander. And guys, I'm a huge fan of this book. A little too late to jump on it now, but get the trades. I highly recommend it. And this book is basically about some old presidents that have turned into vampires. We've got werewolves. We've got a battle for Philadelphia, Killadelphia. They're killing everybody. They're fighting in the streets. And in this issue, we have Thomas Jefferson, and it's got a weird kind of love relationship with one of his slaves he had, who was a dude named Jupiter. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But basically, they died. George Washington's already been killed. Like, everybody is dying off in this book. I don't know if we're getting ready to wrap it up, but they are killing mofos every freaking issue, it seems like. So the characters are dwindling down. I feel like we're getting toward the end of this, but this is a great book. The artwork, that style, I like it. It matches what goes with the book. So, hey, if you're interested in that sort of thing, go get the trades, get kind of caught up. Killadelphia always gets 2 thumbs up from me. Big fan. All right, guys, up next is Thor, number 31, Legacy 757, written by Grönbeck and Cates, artwork done by Nick Klein. The artwork by Nick Klein is superb on this book. I do like it. It fits the tone of this book beautifully. This is kind of starting a new story arc, so if you want to jump in, this is a good time. However, the story to me is kind of mid on this. Basically everybody, the dead, have disappeared from hell and Valhalla, and this is Thor's mystery to figure out. The only saving quality or grace of this book is I do enjoy the new relationship between Thor and Odin. Now that Odin's dead, his essence is trapped in the hammer, and these two bickering back and forth the whole time. That is kind of funny and enjoyable. But other than that, like I said, very mid story. I don't know if what's going on with Donny Cates is affecting this book. I wish he'd pull his head out of his ass and get this thing back on track. But overall, I give it like a 6 out of 10. It was okay. Nothing life-changing. Not a very good endorsement to jump on, but I have been overall enjoying Thor. This was just kind of a letdown issue. All right, guys, last but not least, bringing up the rear this week is Darkwing Duck, issue number 2, written by Dybert, artwork by Lauro, and the artwork on this book is good. It looks just like the cartoon. It's a beautifully illustrated book. It's well written. Each issue is kind of a little self-contained episode of like Darkwing Duck. Last issue we had Megavolt as the villain. This week we got Quacker Jack as the villain. So this is a book obviously written for children. I was a fan of the cartoon back in the 90s, so it's the only reason I'm picking this up. When I'm done, I'll probably gift them to a youngling. So if you know some young kids that you would like to get into reading or into comic books, this book is a perfect entry to buy and pass on to some young children to bring them up into the hobby. All right, guys, that's it. That's it for this week's weekly comic book review. And what a Jim Dandy it was. We had a lot of books, a lot of good stories this week, guys. Hopefully next week's a little bit lighter. But if you're still with me, I appreciate you. Don't forget about our giveaway. Only 7 slots left, guys. Tell somebody, sign up, get an entry so we can do that big 50 subscriber giveaway show. I can't wait. With that being said, I can't wait to see you next week. Keep collecting comics. Just make sure you're doing it the J way. Bye.